Hey guys, welcome back to Spooky Tuesday, a weekly podcast where we're breaking down all of our favorite slashers, thrillers, monster movies, and black comedies on the new scariest day of the week. I'm Sydney Thompson.
I'm Monica Height.
And I'm Chelsea Duff, and we'd like to welcome you to a new theme month. We technically started it last episode, but we're starting it for realsies this episode because we're doing pop star horror, baby. And
I'm a pop star baby.
There's some rich opportunity there in the horror genre. It kind of came together all at once, I feel like.
In 2024, specifically.
There's like two films released pretty close to each other, I think. That I literally saw a tweet comparing the pop stars from each of them earlier today. So I'm thrilled to get into this month, but we're kicking it off with 2024's Trap. And if you're watching on YouTube right now, you can already tell I'm Mr. Trap. So
Mr. Trap.
That's Coop himself. Really butch today. Really, we're all looking really butch today.
Yay!
Yeah. This is a Chelsea-centric episode. We're doing a theme month, and we're all butch.
It's like something out of my dreams. But if you haven't seen Trap, first of all, I'm sorry for you. But second of all, I'll tell Sydney's not sorry for you, and I think that's fair. But if you haven't seen it, I'll tell you what it's about per the IMDb logline. It reads, a father and his teen daughter attend a pop concert, only to realize they've entered the center of a dark and sinister event. Entered the center.
Entered the center, girl. Okay.
I don't know that is like the best log line for this movie, but that one little bit in the middle, woo, that really hit.
This movie, M. Night really like thought he was cooking, you know what I mean? And like entered the center is like kind of indicative of the whole thing. Like there are so many choice lines where he's like, I'm saying something profound. He wrote this. He wrote it, so I can say that it's coming from M. Night's mouth to our ears. He's like, I'm saying something profound right now. The character's saying something profound. And it's just the strangest thing that no one has ever said before and no one will ever say, you know?
Ever
outside
again.
of the concept of this being a pop concert that is a trap to catch a serial killer, which probably won't ever happen. Like there are just preposterous turns of phrase being used time and time again. I feel like it's almost like watching Killing of the Sacred Deer by Yorgos Lanthimos, where everyone is like directed to act really weird in that movie and they don't act like quite like humans. I feel like that's happening in this movie, but it's by accident. It's really interesting. There should be a compare-contrast.
Yeah, no, I do think that is a really important question when it comes to Trap is like, did this movie turn out the way that they envisioned it? Is this exactly how they meant it? And did they mean it in the ironic way that I'm taking it?
Yeah. Some of it is definitely supposed to be funny, obviously. I mean, it's not like a straight, like the tone is rather silly, goofy. But like, I mean, this was like big Josh Hartnett comeback movie, right? And he puts his whole pussy into this role, I gotta say. I mean, he's really acting in every sense of the word. But like, what choices are made? They're so profound. They boggle the mind. My mind was surely boggled.
I have been in love with Josh Hartnett since I was a child. The amount of times that I have watched Pearl Harbor, I don't want to say on the podcast.
I'm uncomfortable with revealing at this time. And that says a lot because we air our fucking
she'll
shit
reveal
out.
anything.
I'll reveal a lot of stuff.
But I can't do that.
Do that. I have always found him so sexy. I have always found him just like perfect boy. I recently watched him in a movie with Jason Statham. and I could not tell
So
you
hot.
what it is, but it also had Aubrey Plaza in it. Uh,
Whoa.
What
and
movie is this?
Carrie
What movie is this?
Carrie Ells Elway. How
Oh,
do you
Princess
pronounce?
Bride.
Yeah,
Yeah. Oh
I
yeah.
can never say
That's
his last
another.
name. Who knows?
It's lost to time. The
Um,
pronunciation is lost to time.
but it's
We
the
figured
ancient
it out
text.
for Saw, but that was like
But like,
not sense.
I'm just in awe of him, and I think one of the reasons why I don't like this movie is I did not find him sexy in this movie.
Oh, I disagree. I think
I
he looks
hate
really good.
his hair. It's too long.
What do you mean?
Kid Cudi liked it, so what are you talking about?
No, I agree. He
No,
doesn't
Kid
have
Cudi
sexual
was
aura
rocking
to
the
me
face
in this
card,
movie.
but he was like, that man needs a haircut.
Well, he acts so creepy. Okay, here's a little context. I watched this movie 3 times actually for the pod. I literally watched it 3 times in the last 24 hours, and my eyes graced the screen for a total of 25% of the film every single time. And I think it might have been the same 25% every time because I was like, damn it, I already looked at this part. Anyway, my bad. Sorry about that, y'all. I'm just being honest with you. But I really dove in auditorially. But I can't say that I missed too much this time because I've watched this twice before, even this last 24-hour period. And like the faces that Josh Hartnett makes in this film are ingrained in my brain truly forever because he is making some like face journey decisions that are truly spectacular. Like, I don't know. I watched it so many times in the last 24 hours that I was like, okay, I get what he's trying to do. I get it now. I've not gotten it before, like what he was doing, because I was like, this is supposed to be his big comeback movie, and it's kind of bad in it. But actually, I think that the writing was terrible, and he had a vision for his character. And if only the movie around him could match his energy, then everything would have been different. You know what I mean?
Mm.
I think that he does a interesting job of did either of you ever watch Dexter?
I watched parts of it, but I haven't
Season
seen the
1.
whole thing.
Yeah, this movie is like if Dexter had to take his stepdaughter Aster to a concert in season 1 before he's like meaningfully really he's learned how to blend in with the normies like from a distance before then, but he hasn't been like up close and personal with the family until
Mhm.
season 1. And I think that's kind of what we're getting here is like he is not, I agree, he's not sexy in this role, even though some people do enjoy the scene where he takes his shirt off.
Yeah, I'm thinking mostly of that. That's part of the
That
25%
was
that I looked at.
nice.
I looked at that part every time. When he
Yeah.
gets tased, every time.
Yeah, I
Mhm.
like the taste.
Right. But I don't think he's like trying to, I think to be sexy would make him stay. He's already very tall. You know what I mean?
Yes.
He's trying to project unassuming family man who couldn't possibly be a threat to anybody. And so he's
Yeah.
got to tone down the sexiness so that he's
Mm.
not like having heads turn when he walks by. You know what I mean? He wants you to kind of like look right past him. So
Yeah, I could see that being calculated. And he's,
I
yeah.
think that's part of it is like his character is doing performance for so much of the movie that it's like, how do you portray a character who like doesn't quite feel it, but also like knows what they're supposed to be doing, but also is not a good actor? They just can get by enough.
I don't, well, here's the thing. I don't know if he's not a good actor. Not Josh Hartnett. Cooper, last
Yeah,
name redacted. I
Mr.
don't know
Trap.
his last name. Mr. Cooper Trap, as he
Yeah.
is known. Mr. Cooper Trap.
Cooper Von Trapp.
Cooper. Oh my God. Um, he, because he's so well. That's the thing. Okay, I'm correcting my own self. I don't think he's acting when he's with his family. That's something like watching it like all these times over that like really stood out to me these times around was that like he really does like authentically care about his family so much, and he just like switches between these two personas because he was like whatever born bad is like seems like the vibes that they're trying to tell you throughout this movie that like his mom realized that he was bad and so she treated him that way or whatever or like try I don't know if she tried to help him. It's very unclear. I feel like there was a lot of shit that was left on the cutting room floor with this movie too. And I'm like, thank God, because it already felt like it was 3 hours long and it's only an hour and 45 minutes. But like I just think he is usually very adept at what he's doing, but I think we're seeing the cracks in this situation because he's never been out of control like this, you know? Because how's he been doing this for 12 victims if he's this fucking freaky
Yeah, for
all the
7 years.
I think that like he's never been got this good. And so he's like, you see him breaking down. And something that I thought was really interesting about his characterization too, which like I'm sure I picked up on the first time I watched it, but like the way that he kind of queer codes himself to seem less threatening when he's like talking to other men. Did you notice that? Where like he kind of acts a little bit like he's gay when he is the wearing the apron and there's all those cops and then also like I don't know, something about that felt like that's what he was trying to do to me. And then also when he was like walking through the big crowd of cops, he's like, "Oh, you're so big." Like he's like I don't know, like trying to make himself seem smaller and less obviously less threatening, which is what we've already said. But I really felt like he was like trying to put on this persona of queerness to seem less threatening when he not like necessarily not when he's with the guy who is selling the t-shirts, not him, but like when he's with like authority figures
Jamie.
in this situation. Yeah, oh my god, I love him. I thought that was really an interesting choice, but then I guess it makes sense. He's a tall, like strapping white man. Like how do you what's the choice to seem less threatening when you already like are 6'5" and built or whatever and it's like I guess putting on this facade of queerness or whatever as fucked up as that may seem. I don't know. Thought it was an interesting point of his character this time around. Watching it this time around.
Who's the actress that plays his wife?
Allison Pill.
Allison Pill.
What is she in?
She's been in a bunch of stuff, but she was in Train to Busan. She was the teacher in Train to Busan, which what am I saying? The other train movie. Yeah.
Snowpiercer.
I was like,
No, I know.
I was
like,
not
there is a
Korean.
I know. The name Train was in the title on that one. They tricked me.
It's okay. They are two dystopian train movies, so it's hard.
She was she in the Lindsay Lohan Confessions of a Teenage Drama Queen?
Yes. Yes.
That's what I know her from. I could not tell you. I was like, where do I know her from?
She's also in Scott Pilgrim vs. the World, which is another.
Yes. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Life is a work of art. You gotta paint it colorful. Sorry, I'm so
loves
sorry.
to
I could
be
keep
in a
going.
movie with original songs. Whoa.
Yeah. Oh my god. Oh my god. Wait. Okay. Did you have anything? You were gonna say something about what I said about gay shit. So what were you gonna say?
Or were you saying more about Allison Pill, or you just wanted identifying information?
I could not figure out.
Couldn't place her.
I was too lazy to Google, so I figured
and it's
I would
weird.
just ask y'all.
Even when you look at her IMDb, they don't tell you up front Confessions of a Teenage Drama Queen, which is really strange. That's not what they front load. I guess she's been in other stuff since then, but she was in American Horror Story Cult, apparently.
I didn't see that one.
That was way after my time. I didn't even know about that one.
Yeah, she's been in like a zillion things. She's had an illustrious career. But anyway, yeah, it wasn't about the queer coding necessarily. It was about the family stuff. I do agree. And I think part of the point of the movie is that he does realize, by the end that he does genuinely love his children and his family, but I think it's one of those things where, again, that's like a realization he has at the end. I think he like assembles a family to be the same way that Dexter does, where he's like, this is my cover to the world so that nobody looks at me and sees an outsider who's not participating, blah blah blah. And so it's like,
Yeah,
this
I
is how a good
guess.
dad behave. It's not that he doesn't love his daughter, but it's like, this is what a good dad would do in this situation, blah 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 blah. And so it's like, I think he's telling himself at every moment of the day, like, here's what you should do. He's thinking so much all of the time, which means he's not necessarily having like authentic reactions, which is what seems like slightly off, I think. Not to be so defensive of Josh Hartnett's portrayal in this movie, because I think it's also, you could say it's not good and that would be fine, but
Yeah, I can see a read where it's not good, but I actually decided that it was really good.
I've actually decided it's like a little camp.
I think it's a little camp.
Absolutely
I
camp.
think. Well, okay. The thing that I
She's
also
cursed. She feels like she's chosen to be cursed, if you want to choose her to be the dream girl or whatever that is.
that show was crazy. That was the craziest line in this whole thing. She feels like she was cursed.
Cursed.
Like she was chosen to be cursed.
Chosen to be cursed.
No one says that. Also, when Jamie's
I'm-
like, as they say, pass it forward. And I was like, girl, they don't say that. They say pay it forward. What the fuck are you talking about? I was like, who wrote this? An alien? Someone who like observed Earth like 16 years ago. And they're like, I'm pretty sure I remember this is how they talked. Like,
You
it was
know
crazy.
who wrote this movie is a dad who doesn't know genuine slang. So I think that
True.
that is, he doesn't know all of the exact ways that kids are talking these days about buying the Starbucks for the person behind you in line.
Sydney is okay. That's not slang. Anyway, but okay, I get what you're saying. Sydney, is crispy a thing? Is that a thing?
I have not heard crispy,
Okay.
but I'm not 12. So should I text my
What?
11-year-old cousin and be like, hey girl,
Yeah, could you text your 11-year-old cousin and ask him if crispy's
is
real?
crispy like a real slang term we should know? Should I be saying that?
I mean, I
will
like
not
it.
say it.
I'm happy to put crispy and extra fried into the
I
common
mean,
parlance.
I kind of like extra fried because big fried means you're just high, and now I'm extra fried.
No,
And extra fried is better than crispy. I liked that
So
dialogue though.
true.
Like, I think there's like, I mean, is it a good movie? That's a question that everybody has to answer for themselves. But I think there's like interesting stuff here. And I think ultimately what is most interesting about it is that it is a daddy-daughter movie. And that is really most clear by the fact that I don't think M. Night Shyamalan had an idea for a good movie to write, but he was like, what other projects can I do with my daughter? And I'm so excited to come up with the collaboration for me and my daughter.
Oh yeah. So in case you didn't know, Lady Raven is played by Saleka Shyamalan, aka M. Night's fucking daughter.
Yeah.
And this whole movie is just kind of launching her music career. And I think she is a superstar and I adore her and I love her and she's amazing and she's the Lady Raven of my heart. Like what having it be her as the pop star in this pop star horror movie and like that's the set dressing for this horror film, okay, that's fine, that's fine. And then she becomes the protagonist of the film in the second act. She is far and away the star of the film. It is like, who's Josh Hartnett? It's Saleka Shyamalan, the fucking star, and she is a hero, and she
She's
also has
solving
like
the
super
murders.
sleuthing abilities. Like,
Yeah.
what won't she do for her fans? She's
She's
like
really
Peter.
Scooby-Dooing it,
Oh
you
no, what's
know?
his name? Spencer, the guy who is
Spencer.
Spencer was a fan of Lady Raven, and I will save him.
And if he wasn't before, he is
He
now.
better be now.
He for sure
Maybe in her
is
head,
now.
she's like, "Oh my god, this is gonna be so good for my image." If
I'm already
catch
picturing
a
the
serial
headlines.
killer,
Yeah.
fucking
If my concert
crazy.
is going to be associated with a serial killer for the end of time, I'm coming out on top. I'm going to be the hero.
You want to be on top.
Oh my God, I literally was about to say that. That's, yep. Oh man. Real horror movie, The America's Next Top Model. Fuck, I just burped in the microphone. Sorry. That's another horror movie, me burping in the mic. But The America's Next Top Model documentary. Don't watch it unless you are feeling really strong in your self-image at the
I
time.
had a great time watching it, actually. I was just
Oh
like,
my God.
no wonder we're all like this.
This body dysmorphia came back instantly. They're saying like this was all bad, and I was like, nope, but it's still doing the same. You showing me the clips is still doing the same thing that it did to me 20 years ago. Dangerous game. Okay, real quick pause on Saleka. Play on how this could have been a really good movie, and the concept for this movie, at its barest bones, is such a good concept. And I wonder if it's been done before. It probably has. I'm sure it has. I just can't think of any good examples of it. I'm not talking about the trap. I'm not talking about the trap of it all and the pop concert, and I'm not talking about Phantom of the Opera. But Phantom of the Opera does have a 2024 trap style trap in it, but it came out 20 years earlier. So okay, M. Night saw that movie and he was inspired. And
Also,
Lady Raven saw
mommy
that movie and
issues.
she was inspired.
The
Yes.
mommy issues, yeah.
Totally. But what I was gonna what I'm saying is that like the concept of a husband, a father who has a whole family, like being a serial killer and having the family like slowly realize that and like unravel what he's been up to and his separate life. Like I know that's been done before. Again, tell me the movie because I just can't think of it right now. But that's like a really compelling concept, and they do some good stuff with it, but it's so lost because this movie is such a mess because the whole first half of it is about the Lady Raven concert. And it's just so crazy. And then the second half is so different from the first half. It's just it's really a jarring viewing experience. Not that a movie should be the same all the way through, but like this just the rules change completely in the second half of the movie. It feels like it's so bizarre.
It gives you a little whiplash. Just like
Totally.
you're like, oh no, we've gone to a secondary location.
Yeah, like I really thought that it was all gonna go down at the concert for some reason.
That's what I was gonna say. Is like all of the marketing for this movie, it was pretty restricted to just the concert footage, and I guess just the premise, which makes sense because they didn't want to give too much away.
Yeah.
Because the whole sorry, excuse me. The whole first half of the movie is so like cat and mouse, and so to reveal that he is in fact able to escape the concert in the trailer would just tell you too much about where the movie is going.
That would have
and
pissed
so
me
I
off,
remember I remember in the theater once they left the concert being like, whoa, like, oh my God, we're surely only halfway through. There's surely much movie left, and we're leaving the arena, like the Tanaka Arena or whatever it was called.
Yeah, great memory.
So, I mean, I think that that is good and fun. And that is like part of the appeal of this movie is how can he outsmart it all? And so, you know, even when he's gotten out of the concert, you're still like, okay, what's he gonna do? Kill Lady Raven? He's already revealed himself to her. Like, he's just gonna trust her
He's gotta kill Lady Raven
forever. Yeah.
The twist is that he kills M. Night's daughter.
I'd be like,
which
M.
like he
Night,
was,
girl, what are we writing here?
I mean, obviously that was his plan at one point, but that's not his immediate plan. So like watching him, he figures out how to get out, but like now what? I mean, it's part of the central premise still of like he escaped the trap, but can he escape in general? I don't know. I liked that she used her Instagram live. I thought that and I feel like look, she is a good little detective, and she's using her pop star abilities to like aid her investigation, if you will. But I don't know. You want it to be bigger than it is when it's pop star and it's this premise. You want it to just be
agree.
like as big as possible. And given the nature of the project, and the limitations based on the fact that this movie was conceived so that daddy and daughter could work together, as opposed to finding the talent to bring this to its highest potential kind of thing.
Yeah. I mean, I don't even think that Saleka is like bad at singing or isn't great or whatever, but it was hard to watch this movie as someone who used to work in the touring industry. Sorry to be so annoying. It's like as an actor. But no, as someone who used to work in the music industry, like watching this huge arena tour, I was like, this is production is fucking horrible. The costumes are so bad. The dancing is like so lackluster. And like I get that it's not about that, but so much of the movie you're watching the fucking concert and it doesn't feel like realistically like a arena tour concert of a major star who is inspiring all this fanfare as they paint her to be. And so that was kind of difficult. And obviously there's budgetary restrictions. I'm pretty sure M. Night's not getting buco bucks anymore to make movies because he's had so many stinkers. I love all of the stinkers. I love this movie. I hope he makes more stinkers. I don't need them to be good. I'll keep coming back. It's fine. But like it's hard to get that level of production. And like what came out first, this or Smile 2?
I think this.
Yeah. Did Smile 2 come out in October of 2024?
Yeah. So
I want
August
to
and
know
October.
what came first,
The chicken or
this
the egg?
movie or Zara Larson inviting people up on stage to do that one dance with her. Who's reheating whose nachos here?
And I hear
People
you.
that
And I do hear you. But I think also, I mean, they said in the marketing, and I'm sure part of this was just marketing because the Eras tour was so huge and so recent
Ow!
time.
I kicked myself. I'm sorry.
But they made a lot of Taylor Swift comparisons. Not that Lady Raven is an artist similar to Taylor Swift, but they were like, imagine a serial killer, a trapeze for a serial killer at the Eras tour is kind of like the way they kept pitching it.
Yeah.
And so I think like Taylor Swift bringing someone up to wear the hat kind of thing, and like that kind of thing has been going on for a long time.
Yeah.
They sure don't give Dreamer Girl anything to do other than kind of dance, and it's like you better know the choreography, even though the lady's like,
Yeah.
it's not about being good, it's just about goofing off, and it's like
Once she
there's nothing
holds
for
your
her to
hand, I'm like,
do.
she's not holding her hand. Did you
That's
notice
why
that? She
I'm
wasn't holding her
doing
hand.
Zara Larson comparisons, because she brings up somebody and they do like the dance choreography with them, and that's the whole point.
Mm-hmm.
I watched that video of the girl
I
who
think Zara
super slayed
Larson
it.
must have watched Trap then, is what I think.
That's my guess too.
I think so too.
And
I'm
that
so glad
feels
she
right to me, actually.
Zara Larson confirmed trap stan.
Mhm.
Dude, I worked with Zara Larson when I did Next Up at Kiss.
She just
Like
did
literally
all of our
15 years
jingle
ago. In
balls. She's
2015.
incredible.
In 2015, that's when I met her. And like she was so good back then, and like it's taken until now. Like she just popped off like in the last
She
like
had
2
to go back
years,
into
right?
the Kia asylum.
That's what they
I
say.
don't know what that means, and I'm scared, and I hope she's okay. Uh,
She's out now,
but
girl. It's fine.
They released
okay,
her.
Yeah.
boots.
She
That's my
escaped.
ego boots. I literally like stim by saying that phrase over and over again. And it's really is putting a wedge between Adam and I and our relationship. So thanks, Zara Larson.
I constantly say, kissing my Swedish boy over FaceTime.
Oh, that's what
I
she
have
said.
a
Important.
Swedish
not know what she said.
boy.
We'll find you one. We'll find you
Dear
one.
Swedes, if you're there, smooches.
Do we have
She's
any
sending them.
Swedish
She's sending
listeners?
them.
We
If
gotta look
you're
at the
Maybe.
map.
if you're on YouTube, it's like we're almost FaceTime.
Kiss me
That's
through
romantic.
the phone.
See
What
you
was I gonna
later
say?
on.
There's something I was gonna say that was about the movie. Oh yeah. Okay, I brought up Smile 2 for 5 seconds. like I've seen Smile 2, so it's in my head, and that one I feel like does like the grandiosity of pop stardom
Mm-hmm.
better, like costume wise and that sort of a thing. So it was hard for these both to like have come out in the same year. It just like I don't know. Everything felt like robot people. Like I don't know. So all of it felt so weird to me. Like that guy Parker or whatever who like comes out and does the like rap for the first song. The way
Parker
he
Wayne, who's
Oh
also Russ,
God.
by the way.
Huh?
The pop star is Parker Wayne is Russ,
Uh-huh.
like a real rapper.
Oh, okay, yeah. I remember people in the theater being like, "Whoa," when he came up, and I was like, "I don't know that man personally. I don't know that man. I'm not familiar with that man, but good for
Mm-hmm.
him." Um, but I don't know. Like, I don't know if it was the way it was shot. Like, everything looked so weird. Like, the way that everybody acted was so weird.
Yeah, it's complicated because I can believe that there are stadiums and stadiums full of young teen girls who are very obsessed with her and this very like emotional music that she writes. And I was listening to the album in the car on the way home to record this
Yes.
episode, and it's very pleasant listening, but there's no bangers on there, which I think
Mhm.
is the problem. It's giving very like chill R&B in many ways. And so
It
I
feels
don't
like
need
2010s pop in a way too.
Yeah, it's okay. Do you remember how the phrase "Go girl, give us nothing" was invented because of a Dua
Dua
Lipa
Lipa.
concert?
Yeah. She does her little dancey dance.
It feels kind
Mhm.
of like that. It's like nobody has done the "Go girl, give us nothing" moment for Lady Raven yet, for her to learn to step up her game and come back swinging. And I guess in
Yeah.
universe, she doesn't need that because look at her, she's a star. She sold out so many shows that she had to add an afternoon show. But
Because that happens.
because that happens. And
They
I
do
mean
that.
I don't know why they would do that. I don't know if she's like, is the
They
implication
don't
that
do
she's
that.
supposed to have another show that later that night, or just that like it was already booked for somebody else later that night, so they were like, you can
That
do
one would
afternoon.
literally never fucking happen ever because the way the production like goes into
Mm-hmm.
arena, like this literally would never happen. So I don't understand that. And then also like there was one part where they and correct me if I'm wrong, but there was a part that I thought to me made it sound like they made this show happen to be a trap for him. But that doesn't make sense because he already
Yeah.
bought a
Bought the
ticket.
ticket.
Yeah, I think part of it is the nature of that line being in the trailer, leading you to form an idea of what they're communicating with that line before you get the full script. And so, like, out of context, it sounds like we made the concert to set the trap. But I think it's more like they turned the concert into a trap once you have
Mm,
the larger view. But I agree. It did sound that way.
it totally sounded that way. I was like, okay, that doesn't make any sense. This doesn't make any sense. But oh my God. It's just it's it's too bad because it's not like this is some brilliant concept. It's literally the craziest concept I've ever heard of. It's crazy. It's literally insane. But I just think that they could have made like two separate movies or whatever. I don't know. I just really want to watch a movie with this concept of the serial killer like being found out and his family finding that out and like the horror of that. I think that that is so interesting to me. Like at the end with the Allison Pill stuff, like cuz she's a great actress, so like
Hmm.
that part's really compelling and then like having that emotional meeting where she was like explaining how she started putting the pieces together
Hmm.
and like
That part I
all
really liked of the movie.
I really like that concept and I was like in a more like deft hands like I don't know if that's a thing what I just said but I think it is
No, you're right.
um and if it more deft hands I feel like there could have been like a real emotional more of an emotional aspect of this. I mean it still was emotional that moment when Riley comes back and like hugs him and everything.
She actually
um
does a really good job, that actress,
she's
I think.
that little
Hmm.
girl is so good and like I don't know, something about maybe it's my daddy issues, but like something about the watch of it this time, like seeing how I know you were saying that it's like a contrived rapport between the dad and the daughter because this is like he's like this is what people are supposed to do. But I didn't read it that way. Like they really like he really cares about her and he's like it seemed like to me and was like, you know, like trying to like fix this problem with her and her little friends and like checking in on her and like taking work off early to get her to this concert and stuff and like caring about her little dance and stuff like that. And so I thought it was so interesting how he could hold both roles and that line where like he's kind of mentally like breaking down later on in the film, like when he's in the car with Lady Raven in the garage and they open the garage door and Allison Pill and the whole family's right outside and he's like, I never thought about how like there's a tree outside the window and they could jump off out of the window because I've never thought of the house like that. I never let the
Mhm.
two lives touch. And it's like such an over the top line, but like cuz it's so annoying. There's no subtlety in this movie at
Yeah.
all. There's literally no subtlety in
Yeah.
this movie at all. They're like, I never instead of him be like saying something normal, like wow, like I never thought of this home as a place like where I would abduct someone or something like I don't know. That's not normal either. But like him being like, and here is exactly a thought of what is happening in my mind. I've never let the two lives touch before. It's just so on the nose.
He's
And I
also a
think
liar. You're at the
Right.
concert with your daughter going to the bathroom so you can look at your prisoner on the live feed on your phone. You're at home and you've built a tunnel out of your kitchen cabinet into the neighbor's yard. The lives are touching, girl.
How did the
that's
neighbors
true.
not know that he built a tunnel into their yard?
Because he's very
He's
sneaky.
very
He has a dark
sneaky.
car. It's Aurora black so that it doesn't show dirt. And by the way, I disagree with that. When I had a gold car, I never had to get it washed because the dust blended right in. That
I
is
see
not the
pollen
case for
on
my
my
dark
car
colored car.
all the time, and it's black.
It's outrageous. That is a lie.
That's definitely a lie. I thought though it was interesting how they kind of like like am I wrong? They characterized him as like OCD this time. I'm using scare quotes. I don't know. I don't it's probably like a horrible um representation of people with OCD. But like I just don't think I thought about that much the times I've watched it before and then like this time around I was like okay, I can see things that Josh Hartnett is doing to try to express that part of his character. I was like, I'm picking up what you're putting down, Josh. I don't know if it's good, but like I see what's happening here. Um and I so like that part, even though it was so overt in the car, the line we were just talking about before, I never let the two lives touch. Like I do think even though it was kind of cringe, it was also like interesting to see him like cracking in such a way to like be talking so strangely because he's just literally like his brain is like just going like and like falling
He's
out of his
already
ears.
locked his family in a bedroom. You know what I mean? Like he's kind of facing the music at this point. So
A hundred
he's prepared to
percent.
put it all out there.
He's been so cool, calm, and collected for 7 fucking years doing that. Well, his whole life, but like 7 years in his current form.
Yeah, I think they are using OCD kind of more in the colloquial sense of like he's very meticulous with his crime scenes.
Mm-hmm.
And so they're just kind of like extrapolating from there a level of attention to detail that somebody who has like compulsive urges to make sure that everything is just so or something bad will happen has that same level of attention to detail, but I don't think he would be like legitimately diagnosed with I
Mm-hmm.
don't see that in his character.
That's fair.
But the way it's like he cuts them into pieces with such precision and blah 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 blah, and we know of course he cleans up his crime scenes because he comes home smelling like hospital industrial cleaner, not firehouse cleaner. And
I think, okay, here's a note. I think that this movie also would have been more effective and more of a horror movie instead of a thriller, because it's kind of more of a thriller. If we had had some sort of, like, I don't know, I'm not as good at rewriting things as Chelsea is. So Chelsea, give me notes. But like if we had had some sort of like intro, and this might have made it R, so maybe that's why they didn't do it. Some sort of like introduction where you see like one of his kills, so you can like understand how sick of a guy he is. Like obviously there's that part where Jamie's like, "Look, she's totally cut into pieces or whatever," but we don't see anything, you know.
Mm-hmm.
I think having more of a strong juxtaposition, like starting out with this like crazy violence or whatever, it would have been a strong start. It would have been shocking, and then it would have like led into the concert scene, and you see him with his daughter, and you're like, "What the fuck?" You know,
Yeah.
like seeing those two sides of him more overtly. I think it would have made it more compelling. Go, girl.
I have an idea. Movie
Cook.
starts, news report. And it's like seeing, and it's like another blah 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 butcher murder, blah 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 blah. Oh yeah, a Lady Raven concert today. Traffic's gonna probably be crazy. And then like, or it's just like maybe like photos of all like the crime scene stuff, and you just hear the news report while you're like looking at all of these like ridiculous crime scene photos,
Or like
like while the
introduce.
credits are going.
I guess we're sort of in Josh Hartnett's perspective in this movie. So it would be breaking that perspective, because you're kind of like in his head, to do it a little, to open it differently. But like it could have opened with him like, I don't know, finishing his last kill or something like that. I don't know, leaving Spencer in, doing something fucked up to Spencer and leaving him, and then be like, go like leaving and driving and then being like, "Oh hey Riley, let me pick you up so we can go to the concert," something like that. I don't know.
Well,
What were you
him
gonna
being
say?
like, I couldn't get off. This is the earliest I could have gotten off work.
And
Yeah,
that made
that
me feel
was
like he was for sure just like doing torture shit before, not firefighter.
that's my first idea when you were talking about rewrite something, is that like we could see him being involved with Spencer, or being like cleaning up some other kill or something, and then rushing home like he's just gotten off work to take Riley to the concert. And then it's again, we see that moment of like the two lives are touching, even if he's telling himself that he keeps them completely separate. Or when you were talking about stepping outside of his perspective for a minute, you could see like Riley getting ready at home. And like she's got the music on, but in the other room the news is playing, and they're talking about the butcher and blah blah blah. And then like her dad comes in and is like, "Honey, turn that off," and like turns the news off or whatever. And it's like he's like, "I keep it separate from my home. When they talk about butcher on the
Yeah.
news, I turn it off." But I agree. I think there's, in terms of horror, there's just a lot that is implied, and that's again probably the nature of a PG-13, because we do see pieces at one point. I think it's near the end, maybe. I don't remember exactly where in the movie it's placed, but the pieces that we see are like covered in fabric as evidence already. So it's like you don't actually see
Yeah.
the body parts. You just see that the body is in pieces, or that only pieces have been left, or whatever it is. And when he shows Lady Raven the first time, it's a lot of things where it's like, yeah, like you're saying, like Jamie shows him the phone, we don't see the screen. There's a lot of moments like that where they want you to just
Yeah.
imagine
And
something.
what he's showing Lady Raven is just Spencer in a room, you know what I mean? Like
And
it's
going,
not
"See this
like,
box? This is how I
Mm-hmm.
could kill him in 1 second if I wanted to."
and it's not to say that there's no moments of violence in this movie. We see him hurt two young girls in the film. Um but those are all such like at a distance
Mm-hmm.
feeling. Like I mean he does literally push that one girl down the stairs, but
Yeah, that was
like
gnarly.
she was about to fall down the stairs, you know.
But
What are
also,
you gonna do? No, I'm
the
kidding. But like
FBI
that's
agents are doing they're bad at their jobs, because if they were really in there looking at all the cameras, they
Mm-hmm.
didn't notice him. Like they didn't spot like the same guy that was there when the girl got pushed, and they didn't notice the same guy that was there when the fry oil blew up in that girl's face. Like, there's cameras, they're watching it. Like,
I think it's an issue of timeline in many ways, where it's like if this were a 2 week long movie, they would find all of those moments later on and realize it's the same guy. But because it's like we're operating in real time and we're only covering like this afternoon into the evening, they just like if somebody even noticed him on the footage pushing the girl, whoever noticed the guy near the fry oil, like they're not the same person. You know what I mean? People are surveying different areas, so they can't necessarily compare notes
Yeah.
until later. But I agree. Another thought that I had is that like all of these teen girls at this concert are filming every single second of it. He's going to be in the background looking suspicious of a lot of shit. So eventually, even if they didn't get him at the concert, even if they couldn't get him in their trap, they were
Yeah.
going to get to him eventually because of the trap. But it's like he's just so good, actually, that he can get out of it at all. He can pivot on a moment's notice, and he's playing people around. He
doesn't get
makes friends with
panicked.
Jamie, and so now he knows the code is Hamilton and blah blah blah.
I feel like he was playing partially from the rule book that we already were discussing, where like he dampens down like that he is an attractive man or whatever by being like, you know, not kind of weird, whatever. I guess kind of weird is the way that it's coming across. But he's also doing he's also like the sexy guy. What's the sexy serial killer who was hot, and no one thought it would be him because
Oh,
he was
Ted
hot.
Bundy.
Ted Bundy. He's also doing like the Bundy thing too, where like he is charming and good looking, and so people want to do nice things for him, and he
This
gets away
motive,
with stuff
or
because of that.
the asking Spencer to like help him jumpstart his car, sounded very Ted
Yeah.
Bundy. And I think Ted Bundy,
Yeah.
his whole thing was also that he would make himself even more unassuming by like having crutches or like wearing
Yes,
a
he'd be
sling
crippled.
kind of thing. So he would
Yeah.
seem like he couldn't physically overpower you even if you wanted to. And so I could see Cooper under other circumstances doing stuff like that. But I think also being a firefighter, the fact that he, it's not like anybody's ever escaped him before. So it would be to some degree easy if he has some way of like publicly identifying himself as a firefighter in that moment to gain public trust super fast. And then as long as nobody escapes and can identify him and go, it was a firefighter that took me, you know what I mean? Then
Yeah.
he's free to use that.
Dear listeners, especially women, a man never needs your help. Like, truly, if a
True.
man is like asking for your help, politely decline and skedaddle. Like, a man does not need your help, actually.
But it is
Hard.
interesting though, because the movie is written in such a way to be like, actually, we thought of that. And we're not it's not like based in reality, it's smart necessarily. It's just like we're smart and this is the way we've written the movie, because they're like, nobody could sense that he was different except for maybe his mother. So nobody could possibly have known, and we're conveying that by simply telling you.
Right.
But
I feel like this movie, oh, is this a nail on the head? I feel like this movie is what it must feel like to be the unsub in a Criminal Minds episode. Cause like they've fucking Criminal Minds the shit out of this man. They're like, you can tell that he has mommy issues and that has caused him to do this, that, and the other thing. I'm Matthew Gray Goobler, blah blah blah. Like, except there's no Matthew Gray Goobler. That would have been the best twist. And he wanted to do a twist because he did this weird reveal with the old lady who's the FBI agent. She's very cutie, by the way. Where
she
they're
was
like,
the
she's like,
original twins in the original Parent Trap.
oh, cool, awesome.
Just a fun fact.
But it would have been an amazing twist if like you finally see who the FBI lady is, and it's fucking Prentice or some shit. Like that would have been a
She's
real
gone
M.
gray
Night
now.
Aaron
twist for ya. Oh my god,
Bring him
jump
back.
scare, Aaron Hotchner. It's Shamar Moore.
That would be sexy.
That would be great. That would be too much sexiness in one movie. But yeah, it's so weird the way all the FBI stuff is presented. Like again, like doing more rewrites, if we did change the perspective and started out like not at all from like if we start out like with like what the plan is or something, and it's like the FBI like seeing the last kill and you're introduced to that woman faster or something like that. Like I don't know if that would necessarily make it better, but I just thought something about how the FBI stuff was handled was just so weird and made it seem so like I don't even know. It just seemed so fake because of the way they talked about everything. It didn't feel like an investigation. It just felt like a convenient thing over the radio. Like every second, like, oh, every question, like they already, like you just said, they already answered it. But it didn't feel believable at all. And it's maybe because this is a completely unbelievable concept. And we just can't get
Yeah.
past that.
I mean, there's a lot of things in this movie that are just super contrived.
Yeah.
And to some degree that's fun, and to some degree it doesn't feel like it makes for strong movie material. But I do think that there are some things in this movie that are genuinely kind of interesting, if not fully well done. Like I mean, the contrived part is having the lead FBI person be an older woman with gray hair so that it can meaningfully trigger his mommy issues and allow for that moment at the end where he thinks he's like speaking to his mom. But throughout the movie, throughout the
We'll
movie, there's
dive
like
into that
one
in
or
a sec.
two moments where he has like a vision of his mom.
Yeah, it's
And he like
like
sees
Melissa
her
Barrera
about
with the stew visions. Or
the
not
Billy
stew,
ones.
Billy vision. Sorry. I'm the one having stew visions. Keep going.
But that part is it seems I mean I can only think of two. There's like the moment in the bathroom when he's washing his hands right after he's been like checking the live feed on his phone, and then
Yeah, that's
the
really
moment
early in the
where
movie too.
the moment where he sees the woman who is burned by the oil that he did after he like nearly got caught on the roof. So it's these two moments where he's having to like meaningfully contend with his role as the butcher at the concert beyond being like they're looking for me and I need to escape. It's like he almost just got caught and he was just looking at things himself. So it's almost like if his mom was the only one who could tell. And again, that did make me think of the Phantom, where you were saying last week that like his mother spurned him, ran away from him at sight. It's like maybe actually she could just tell that he was different or whatever. It's not because he
just
had
like Phantom
a
of the
facial
Opera.
deformity. It's because she could tell he was rotten to his core. And maybe she was right. But in this movie, it's like that's the only person who was ever onto him, and she kind of haunts his moments for this, and it's that's like his driving motivation is doing this is he feels like he's different. There's part of him missing. Nobody is whole. Everyone is just pieces. He's when he sees someone, he gets the urge. He got the urge when he saw Lady Raven backstage ready to go
When
beyond
she's
the
doing
curtain.
her
Because she looked like she thought that she was whole, and he has to like prove that everyone is just pieces. That's why he cuts people into pieces, and that brings him comfort to like reduce them to what he feels he is. And so again, it's one of those things where it's like there's some ideas here that have merit, but ultimately the execution is kind of mid.
And now, okay, so now I'm thinking of Seven, right? Because
Mm-hmm.
Seven, we get a whole monologue from the killer where he explains his shit or whatever. But like we've seen And that feels satisfying because we've seen all these kills throughout the whole movie leading up to it. So you can see what he's done and the mystery of it. And then you get the answer at the end as the why or whatever. And you're like, okay, there you go. Now I know. But with this movie, we never see any of it. And so he's just like saying this shit. And I'm like, okay, cool. Like, it's just like a monologue that's like tied to nothing for me because it's just we don't get that characterization of him as a killer. It's like a almost like a in movie like not a retcon, but like it's just feels like it's like flipped in there at the end. I don't know. I just structurally it doesn't hit because they don't like really establish the extent of his crimes, and so it just doesn't seem it loses a lot of weight for me because not like I'm like I need to see cut up dead bodies, but like
it's
yeah, I
not
kind of
enough.
needed to see some cut up fucking dead bodies to like understand this guy more.
We need more show, don't tell.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's interesting that you bring up Seven because I feel like we talked about on that episode how that the monologue and the kills at the end are the weakest part of the movie
Yeah,
in many ways because the reveal slaps, but in terms of the other kills, it just seems kind of like lackluster. But
yeah,
because there's been so much build up at that point, and you see the emotional investment of the characters, they can pull it off. But if that's the big moment in this movie, it's just like you haven't earned getting there,
yeah,
and
exactly.
also
Because
Mm-hmm.
the whole first 45 minutes are just him being like, hee hee, ho ho, like making the craziest faces you've ever
The
seen, and
craziest
meandering about the
faces.
arena. Oh my God, the faces he makes are just insane. Oh
Arena.
God, arena. What was the. There's something that he says. Somebody says something to him, and he's like, yeah, or something. Do you remember that? He says yeah in like the fucking freakish shit way ever. And I'm like, okay, this boy is about to crack. Like that is not a normal response. I don't know what to tell you, Coop, but you're starting to show here.
I feel like
Oh,
that was must have been to Jamie or something because
yes, it
that's one
was.
of the moments where he's really over the top.
Oh my God. He's so funny in that. Oh, my favorite part actually is when the guy Russ or whatever Parker comes out of the hole in the ground or whatever, and then and then Cooper sees the hole in the ground and he's like, "Oh my God, that goes to the back, and that goes to backstage. I need to go there." And he turns to his daughter and he's like, "Hey, whoa, look at that hole in the ground. Do you see that? That's crazy. Whoa, don't you think? Do you think we should
What
go down there?
if?
What if we
What
went
do you
down there,
I
my
bet
young
there's
13-year-old daughter?
costumes. Yeah.
I bet there's costumes. Maybe we should just like go to." And she's like, "What the fuck?"
Dad,
Dad,
you're being
no, we're not
really
gonna go
weird.
into a
What
hole
are
in the ground
you
right
doing?
now.
Mhm.
That shit was
Yeah.
crazy. He's like, "Oh, you're right. I'm being a little kooky crazy right
You're
now.
being
Sorry,
so
Riley."
I just
silly.
got excited for you. Yeah, I think there's a lot of really funny moments in this movie. The sum of its parts doesn't necessarily make for a good movie, but that moment is iconic. I love when Riley gets picked to be the dreamer girl, and then you see Jodie and her mom in this dance. They kind of overdo it by cutting back to them two more times, but then they scream in each other's
Yeah.
face, and so that is a little fun. But like that moment is great.
I love all the
Um,
parts with the mom too. I love the silly goofiness of her being like, "I actually have a dark side and you don't want to see it come
Right?
out." It's like so fucking on the nose. It's so ridiculous,
Like
but it is
right
pretty
in
fucking
front of
funny.
cops too.
mhm.
She's like,
And
"Don't
she's not
fuck with
bothered.
me."
Yeah. But those are great moments. Everything with the thinker is really funny. That's Kid Cudi's
Oh my god,
Can
character.
you want
Cuddy
me
Don't
is
to
know why
so
they
doo-doo
funny
my
in this.
pants?
but hilarious. And when he like flips his hair and like winks at Coop,
And
that's
like shows
great.
his ass
I
like in a
scream.
sexy way.
And then
Hmm.
he's like screaming down the hall about how Coop is so hot. He's like, "Oh!" You can hear him doing
Something
that.
like daddy or something like that.
Yeah. So
I
fucking
love
funny.
the moment in the car also with Lady Raven where you can tell she's like I said, she's a hero. So she's using all of the tools at her disposal.
Mm.
But now that he's confiscated all of her phones, she can no longer use her pop star influence. But she's like, I heard that FBI
Superpower.
profile, so I'm going to be his mommy instead.
Yeah.
Coop, you're being a really bad listener, and you're gonna get punished. I
That
like
shit
died when
was
that happened in the
fucking
theater.
crazy.
Oh,
Chelsea,
I
did we
remember watching that and being
We
like,
saw it together.
what?
Chelsea and I saw it together, and it was like the most euphoric movie watching experience I've ever had, literally in my entire life, because it was so hysterical. It was so insane. I'd never seen it before, so I had no idea what was fucking coming. And then there was an earthquake in the middle of our theater, and the entire theater was like, "What the fuck is going on?" And then we all were like together, and then we were like, "Are you guys okay?" And it was very beautiful camaraderie at the AMC. And I'll never top that theater experience. And that's why it's so hard to watch this movie again and again, because it was amazing the first time because it was just hysterical. And then when you're at home, there's no earthquake, hopefully.
Could you imagine if it was the
every
big
time
one?
I watch
and
imagine
no-
every time I watch it, there's an earthquake.
Or just like imagine that when you were at the theater and it was the big one and you had to be like, where were you during the big one of blah blah? And you were like, I was at the AMC watching Trap.
I'd be proud to say it.
The
The
last
only thing that would be
these
sad is
eyes
that I
saw-
wouldn't be able to finish Trap.
Fucking crazy. It's so like it is a hysterical experience if you're in a high energy situation for the very first time, I think. But like
I think
I literally
if you
texted
take a
y'all and I was like,
movie
this movie is
watching-
preposterous.
It is preposterous, and that is its charm. So I think if you take a movie watching supplement and you're watching on a really big screen and you're blocking out all distractions and you're just fully immersed, that can be a really fun way to watch it. But if you're just stone cold sober at home watching on a laptop screen or a normal sized TV screen and the rest of the world exists around you, it's just not quite big enough for you to not like let your mind wander, because
it loses you. It loses you.
Yeah.
It's not tight. It's a loose movie. It really feels longer than an hour and 45 minutes, because that is a very reasonable amount of time for a film. It's hard.
But it is fun. I mean, like we were saying with this stairs moment, it is fun to like watch him think on his feet. He has just heard over the walkie, I think, the walkie that he stole, maybe, that the only way out is like backstage. And so he sees this opportunity and he tries to seize it and it doesn't work. And we see him, he's like thinking about pulling the fire alarm until literally that same second he hears over the walkie. She's like, he's gonna pull the fire alarm to cause chaos and try and get lost in the chaos. So it's like, damn, she nailed him. But he's also, again, he's so good that he's got the tools to be spying on their investigation. So he can pivot and he'll go
one
right up
step
to M. Night
ahead.
Shyamalan and go, my poor little daughter, she was chosen to be cursed, just in case anybody wants to choose her for anything else. Like he's playing the mind games with people.
Yeah, okay.
I don't think he
now
really
I
wants to settle the
understand
beef
that.
with Jody. I think he just is like, how can I get Jody off my back? Otherwise, I'll kill her right now.
100%. I wanted to kill her, and I'm not even a serial killer. She's just a rather annoying woman. What was I gonna say? Yeah, I didn't understand that he was trying to manipulate M. Night by being like chosen. So I was just like, oh, he's just speaking like a strange angel who's just come down from heaven, and he's being so bizarre. But okay, let's talk about it. M. Night, self-cast. He always puts himself in his movies. Is this his biggest part he's ever given himself? Is this
I
his
think
biggest
so.
role?
Well, it's a father-daughter role. He has to play her uncle.
Yeah, because
It is.
how interesting that they made her actual dad like a total fuck up.
Yeah. Here's my daughter. I made this movie for her. By the way, her dad's a deadbeat. But don't worry, I'm playing to be so clear, not just her uncle, but I'm gonna specify that it's her mom's brother, because once again, her dad is a deadbeat.
His dad is piece of shit. Piece of shit. so fucking funny. So insane. I was like, by the way, I feel like we talked about traps somewhere in a podcast related space. And so I feel like I'm rehashing things I've said before on here. But
Monica
I want
reheating her own
everyone,
nachos.
I'm reheating my own nachos. I want everyone to know I clocked M. Night the first millisecond he was on the screen. You see him like 10 yards down, and like Josh is just like looking around, seeing who he could talk to. You see a man with a curly mop of hair, and I'm like, that looked like M. Night. And then it fucking wasn't. I was so proud of myself. I was like, I'm obsessed. Oh, did I tell y'all that I know someone who worked on his in his production company for years?
Wow,
Oh.
1 degree from M. Night.
I know. I thought about texting her and being like, "Do you know anything about trap that we should say on the pod?" But I didn't want to. We're new friends, so I don't want to. Just want to put her in that situation. But wow, my dream job. I think that's my dream job. But yeah, really like a beautiful performance from him this time around. Like one of his best. Not quite as emotional as his role in Signs, which also was like a mover and a shaker of that film. Like that was it. He was like made himself like a plot shifting type of character. But this one he also does that too. Like he would hopefully is going to get in his character is going to get in so much trouble because he was just like, yeah, let's bring this man backstage and let's just like ignore all of the protocols that we've set in place for all men that are at this event. No, he's fine. His daughter had cancer. He told me so.
He couldn't be a killer.
He told me that, and so it's true. And I'm M. Night Shyamalan. I have an amazing sense of a person's.
And honestly, thank God he was back there because he rescued that girl from passing out.
Exactly. She would have fell down, gone boom.
He's a hero. He's helpful to the staff. He is just a nice guy. He displayed great family values at the t-shirt stand earlier, at the merch stand.
You just don't see that anymore.
You just don't see parenting like that these days. So that's how you know he's a good person.
Exactly.
And he didn't even ask for his daughter to be the dreamer girl. He just wanted to say thanks for putting on this concert.
Thank you so much, and just tell Lady Raven,
Thank
us
you.
two nobodies, we love her. Wow. This is the craziest movie of all time. Remember that part where she's like, where he's so crazy and he goes up to Lady Raven in her ear and he's like, hey, you probably heard about my daughter's condition. Do you think that I could talk to you privately for a second? Like the most crazy that anyone has ever sounded. He's like, do you think we can just talk alone for a second? Like, oh my God.
And it's so unrealistic that she would be alone.
Yeah.
He was like, yeah, oh, you guys don't come in. We're just going to talk alone for a second. Like, it's so crazy how many things go right for him.
Lucky girl symptom, okay?
Lucky girl.
Yeah. Look, he's
The
just at the top of his
girl
game.
in the world.
He's a star.
She had one song that made me think about Lucky. I think it's the one that she plays on the piano at their house.
Also, so many of the songs that she sings have lyrics that are plot relevant, and it is so fucking funny. I'm a bird in a cage, I wanna be free, like something like that. There's one of like about being
Here's
trapped.
my song called Release, and it's about releasing people. If anybody wants to release anybody that they might have trapped.
Held, yeah, they might have
somewhere. But yeah,
oh my God, they said the title of the movie.
Don't Want to Be Yours. That was one of the ones I was listening to in the car where I think the lyrics are like, I'm in your like death trap or whatever. Let me see. Don't Want to Be Yours. Lyrics.
Is that the
Lady
one she's
Raven.
singing in the car? Because the one they're singing in the car on the way over is so overt. It's crazy.
Yeah. There's no graceful way out of a death trap, babe. I might cause a scene.
Wow.
That's so real.
That's a Raven.
That's
actually.
so Raven. Sydney, we're so aligned today. That's so funny.
We'd probably be saying it at the same time if it wasn't for the Zoom drag.
I know. For real. For real. For real. Wow, what a movie.
No, okay, I'm looking at these lyrics again. All my life I've been steady. I do what's right. Don't get messy. I calm my mind. And if they get me, I'm right back up again. That's Mr. Trap.
Yeah.
They got
that
me.
song-
I've contrived a way out.
I get
Exactly.
knocked down, but I get up
Her-
again.
Mm-hmm.
Her whole career has been leading to this moment to use her concert to catch a serial killer. She like, oh my god, it's just so funny how she like knows everything and she's like and then like the FBI comes to like give her Lady Raven an update specifically. Like
She's like,
And then they
actually
take her to
she's
meet
the head of
Spencer.
the FBI. She's Prentice.
Mhm. In the sequel, she has done a Kirby, where she is now in the FBI, and she's tracking Coop after he escapes from the police car at the end.
Are we gonna get a Trap 2?
I need
Trapped
it.
2, trapped again. I need it. Do you remember that part when Lady Raven is like, "Oh my god, can I come to your house?" And then she's like, then all of a sudden, Cooper's like, "You should probably go because you have places to be, don't you?" And she's like, I could sing." And she points, and then the camera goes and like shows you the piano. It's like the fucking funniest cinematography I've seen in a second. Is so silly. And they're like, "Oh my god, on our piano, you will play a song on our piano." That whole segment gets so crazy. And then like she's like, "Oh, let's take a selfie. Oh, I don't know where my phone is. Has anyone seen it? Let's use your dad's phone." She like
Yeah.
steals Josh Hartnett's phone. Saleka
Where's
is
your
an incredible
bathroom?
actress. She's like, "Oh, I have to
Her
shit. I gotta go right now."
Mhm. Her and Mr. Trap are truly the pair to face off against each other. And that's why I believe that we should have a sequel. Because she's thinking the same way that he's thinking. He's like, "Oh, you're going to invite us into your limo so that we can leave in your limo, so that we're the only two people in this whole arena who don't have to go through the checks. Even though I've already gotten permission to leave backstage, they're still going to check me. And so now I have to do one step further. I'm just going to I'm going to reveal myself to her and go, save me, catch me, save him, catch me, save him, catch me." It was a really good show, by the way. Like, the way he delivers that is crazy, but the way he positions
So
himself
crazy.
to escape, and then she's like, "And guess what? I can play mind games too." And she gets into the house, and then she's like, "Mrs. Trap, have you heard about the butcher? Do you know about the butcher?" And
And
that scene
Alison
was
Pill, meanwhile, is like, it's like,
Do I
"Holy
know?
shit."
Yeah. Do
This
I
is getting
know
a
about
little
the butcher?
weird.
Yeah. That scene was interesting to watch on a second time, knowing now, because I was so shocked in the theater when it was revealed that like she was the one who set them on his trail because she was suspicious of him. She was suspecting something. And I was also then surprised that I was shocked because I was like, it's Alison Pill and she's hardly been in any of the movie. So it'd be
Yeah.
kind of like a waste of casting someone recognizable to give them nothing to do, not even any kind of iconic moment.
Yeah.
So it made sense that that ended up being her role. And so it's interesting to see that part again, knowing that she suspects, and maybe this is the moment that has confirmed to her that it's real. And so she's just kind of like, "I've heard about him, and all I can really say is he gives me and my friends nightmares." And I I can't say anything else with my husband standing right there. But I don't know. I was kind of disappointed on a second watch of getting to her explanation more later. The way that I remembered it was kind of just that she like left the receipt behind and the police found it at one of the houses at the safe house. And so they knew that the receipt was connected to the butcher because they knew that the safe house was connected to the butcher. And it feels, knowing instead that what they actually say in the movie is she leaves the receipt and then she calls from a payphone to report the safe house. I would love to know what evidence they had to be like, we know that that is in fact the butcher's, to the degree that we're spending these crazy resources setting up a trap at this concert, checking every single man at this concert, pulling every man aside at this concert who fits the description of 7 different people that we've seen on the bridge or whatever. It felt like the lengths that they went to were disproportionate if it's just that like someone called in a tip apropos of nothing else, because I'm sure they get lots of tips that go nowhere.
Yeah, I don't know. There must have been some sort of evidence where they had already thought that that might be one of the safe houses, and then they got
Where it
that.
like fit the profile of where they've
Yeah.
found.
Mhm.
I don't
think that
know.
they even thought about it that much.
Yeah, because that's the thing, is also that like they were so not on his trail at all that this is the only clue that they have. But don't worry, Lady Raven was on the case, because she
Lady
talked to
Raven's on the
Spencer
case.
and she said, "Is there anything identifying that you can tell me?" And he got 2 good details, and then she went on Instagram Live and she was able to crowdsource the exact address of the home, essentially.
I just feel like anytime something that feels like they're raising the stakes in this movie happens, it gets resolved like immediately. Like he steals Lady Raven and then immediately she's fine. And then like I don't know. It's just they don't hold us in suspense quite nearly enough. It's incredibly flawed in so many ways. I love it. 5 Knives.
Okay, we're done. Bye.
And we're done. No. But what was I gonna say? Ugh, I don't know. I mean, I do love him. I do love him in this, even though it's so bad. Like,
I think it's because it's bad in a way. It's like the line delivery is absolutely crazy for so many lines. And then the cinematography is absolutely crazy in so many ways. They're cutting to just half of his face. They're cutting to this much of his face and he's completely red. And you just see here to here. And
yes, red.
like they're doing insane things and they're making him say insane things in insane ways. And so it again, if it were like truly camp, it would need to be like bigger and intentionally crazier.
Mm,
But it does kind of feel like they slash them style camp, where it's like, I don't think this is exactly what you intended, but it is where you landed.
yeah, I can't understand the true intent of Tone here in this. I really, I, I have no idea because he's not done one like this before. Like Old is horrible, but like it's a horror movie and like I don't know.
His other
It
movies
didn't
are much more like serious in tone, at least.
this is so silly. Start to finish. And then all of a sudden they're like it's actually very serious because he has mommy trauma and here's his ghost grandma mommy who's here and like
But it's actually just the FBI lady pretending to be mommy.
yeah,
Mhm. And doing it better than Lady Raven did, but damn if Lady Raven didn't give it a shot.
I can't believe this movie exists. Thank God. Do we have more to say before we move into our segments?
Or segmentos.
I think that it just needs to be stated on the record that the opening act was called Papa's Boots.
Yeah. Yes, I noticed that this time. I didn't notice that the first time.
What?
Papa's Boots is the opening act.
I only noticed it because I had subtitles on.
You want to know what I just thought you were saying? That's so funny. I thought you were saying that there were like title cards in the film for each like act of the film. And there was one for act 1 that
and
was
it opens on Papa's boots. We
Boots.
see Mr. Trap's boots stomping up the stairs. Below him, a field of blood, pieces of a body. He'll clean it up later.
could
Now
actually
he has
be-
concert to go to.
This actually could have been a better opening. That really just shook me to my core. I was like, what thematically are they trying to get across? Oh, okay. Anyway, How could this movie be gayer? He's already queer baiting, so
Lady Raven, bisexual for sure.
only a bisexual. Wow, what did I just say? Bisexual queen could be such an adept sleuth. You have to see it from both sides. Kid Cudi's gay.
Yeah, but that's
And what a star.
canon.
And
We
what a
ha-
king he is.
Yeah,
So
he slayed the
amazing.
Boots House down.
The sequel is actually Josh Hartnett, Mr. Trap himself, starting a new life with the Thinker.
As his boyfriend.
Uh-huh.
Lady Raven is always hitting up the Thinker to hang out, and he never can because he's always secretly hiding with his boyfriend, Mr. Trap. And because that's somebody who has the resources to meaningfully hide him away from society, and give him access to random people to cut up to his heart's content. And the Thinker is happy to not be perceived as whole on his own.
Perceived as whole. Really
I know,
funny.
as like perceiving whole.
That's the title.
Perceiving whole.
Perceiving whole.
Papa's boots.
But she's starting to get suspicious of why he can never hang, and she like shows up at his house one day, and then Trap has to like get out of the house without being caught in another trap.
Thank God he was already working on a new secret tunnel into
Yeah, he's
Secret tunnel.
you know, digging tunnels wherever he goes.
secret tunnel.
I just
Secret
can't
tunnel.
believe this is a movie. I love it. I personally love it.
I think Riley is straight because she looks, I mean, maybe she really loved Parker Wayne or whatever, but she looks at him with heart eyes as he's walking down the hallway in an open pastel orange raincoat with no shirt on underneath.
Yeah, she's
And
so straight because that guy is not hot and she's
that
so
was-
down.
I agree. So, unfortunately for her, that's just the way that things are working out.
Well, I hope you straighties out there enjoyed some straight representation for the first time.
I
on
think
the pod.
Logan, the little brother, is
Mm-hmm.
gonna be non-binary.
Ooh, okay. And
I
I think
think they're
Allison
all-
Pill gonna get a girlfriend after this.
I also think she's
Uh-huh.
gonna get a girlfriend. She's like, I can't
Mhm.
do another man.
I'm not doing it. Yeah.
I also think that I was thinking about how this is going to destroy the lives of all of those children and Allison Pill afterwards.
Oh, they're gonna have to
As-
change their name. Like they'll go back to her maiden name and like move cities and states.
A
Well,
lot of this-
eventually Riley will do a podcast or something about being the daughter of the butcher in the same way that there's like that TV show about the Green River Killer's daughter or whatever.
Yeah.
Or the Happy
Yeah.
Face Killer has one as well.
Yeah, one day. But until that day, like she
Mhm.
thought she was having trouble with her friends now. Girl, poor thing.
They were
Poor
excluding
fucking
her
thing.
before.
That was better than what's gonna happen. Yeah, it's so much of this movie is reminding me of an actually good movie called We Need to Talk About Kevin, and I would love to do that on the pod someday, but we'd have to like, I don't know, have a safe space afterwards because that's one of the hardest movies I have ever watched in my entire life. I won't say
I've
more
always
because I don't
wanted
want
to see that one.
Oh,
I've seen it and I've read the book,
is-
and both are devastating.
it's incredible and incredibly devastating. It's like one of the best movies I've ever seen.
Oh, we should
I'd
do
love to
that.
read the
I've
book, but
been
I
spiraling recently. I need something that'll make me sob.
I don't know if I could do that right at this time.
Watch A Little Princess.
No, I can't do that. That one's too sad.
That's too sad.
Chelsea, how dare you even suggest that?
I can't handle it. Yeah, watch My Girl. Do that. Ruin your life.
Again, why would you do this to me? I can't watch something.
You're
that was
asking to
traumatic
cry.
from my childhood.
Oh my god, I
looking
just remembered
for a
more. We
show.
need to talk about Kevin. We need to talk about something else. Oh no. Oh no, I'm gonna text Chelsea about it really quickly to get it out of my brain.
Wow, just Chelsea?
Yeah, because I'm not gonna tell
She
you
doesn't do
what
spoilers.
happens.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
like this.
Yeah.
Being left
Anyway, you
out.
gotta show.
Yeah.
Well, you should watch
Monica
that
is
movie
going on my
sometime.
enemies list right
Oh,
now.
fuck off!
Number 2, right after Ryan Seacrest.
That is
Number 1.
not valid or what am I trying to say? It's not
my
valid.
own in-phone enemies list. Okay. Math is number 9.
I
Math is
can't.
number 9.
Math is number 9.
You know what?
I am
Sure,
not
I
worse
support you.
than math. How dare you? Not for this, of all things. Okay. Any other gay thoughts we'd like to share?
So many more gay thoughts.
All right, Matthew Lillard. This
Hold on.
Wait, sorry.
he should have starred. What?
I did have one more gay thought.
Say your gay thought. Say
It's
it.
that Lady Raven could have been more inclusive of the non-binaries in the crowd when she welcomed all of the queens and kings to the concert.
Yeah, what about the general royalty?
That's one thing I was thinking about too. I was like, what would she even say? And it'd be one of those moments where
Jester
people are like
Maxer.
trying to, people are trying to be inclusive and they end up saying something really weird. Like, okay, you know that this is a shout out to them. I'm saying this nicely, but you know that horror themed gym that opened in Burbank?
Yeah,
Monica.
Yeah.
There's a horror themed gym that opened. I haven't been yet, but I'm thinking of trying it. But their website is like for all of this Scream Queen. Let me look up what it is because I'm not going to remember it right. And it is crazy. Horror Gym, Burbank. Sorry, this is taking so long. Oh my God, I'm humiliated.
Don't worry, I can edit this out to make it.
Yeah, edit out the pause.
There's no way. There's no way to edit out the pause. They're just gonna have to hear this live. There's no way. We don't have the technology.
All final girls, Scream Kings, and non-binary fright icons are welcome. I think it's beautiful to be inclusive of everybody.
Non-binary
But you're
right
getting a
icons.
little silly.
Rise up.
She's like, welcome, queens, kings, and non-binary pop appreciators to
Court
the concert.
No, the non-binaries are absolutely the little court jesters. I'm so
Welcome,
sorry.
Oh,
I can't-
sorry, that's probably
and
offensive.
royal NBs to the concert.
Royal
NB.
NBs. I
And
can't.
NBs of royal status.
Royal MBs. Okay, I was trying to do something with
Yeah.
royalty, but it didn't really work. And we're just gonna move right along. We're done with talking about gay things. We're talking about Matthew Lillard
We're talking
now.
about Matthew Lillard.
Okay, I think that he should star. He would have killed this role. I'm sorry. I love Josh Hartnett, and you can't pry him out of this movie for me, but also Matthew would have been an incredible Mr. Trap. He would have been an incredible Mr. Trap.
He would have
He
been.
has the range to be
You
an
want to know
incredible
who
Mr. Trap.
I wanted him to be?
Mhm.
Who?
That one SWAT guy who asks for sugar and then refuses a donut.
I just want my coffee to be sweet, not the rest of my breakfast.
I just think
Come
that would be
on.
really cute and funny.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Good
Beautiful.
little moment.
That's what I'm doing, by the way.
Gorgeous.
I like this one.
Yeah, I mean, I think I think there are a bunch of roles where it would be fun to see him in tiny little moments, but I also think if we remake this movie in the next if we
You
remake
said
this
tiny little, and my brain said shorts.
yeah, if we
He's
could get him in some shorty shorts,
Some tiny little shorts.
perhaps when he has to change out of his SWAT costume in the limo, maybe all that's there for him is some little shorty shorts to put on.
Kelsey really understands my vision. Anyway.
Yeah. But
I
if
like
we
it.
remake this movie in the next 5 years to give it the grandiose quality that it screams for, I think that we can put Matthew Lillard in that role.
Yeah. I just think it would make a lot of sense. I think that I'm sorry. Cut that out. I said the wrong pop star. I think that Kid Cudi would also turn his fucking head for Maddie Lily, so we wouldn't have to change it. Kid Cudi
Exactly.
stays.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Can we cast other
He
people?
steals the whole
Kid
movie.
Cudi stays. Actually, Lady Raven stays.
I don't know. What if Matthew Lillard was Lady
Actually,
Raven?
it's still Saleka. I do love her. I think she's cute. I think she's really cute. Anyway.
And it's funny how involved she is in this movie and that it is her show and that it is her platform to be like, hey guys, I'm a pop star as well.
Just by the way, here, hey, I'm a pop star and I'm here, and the whole movie's about me. By the way, just by the way. Oh, also,
Pop
just while
star
we're on the
baby.
pop star horror month, while we're on this beat, I just want to let you know that I almost said Matthew Lillard. I'm sorry. I'm always thinking about him. M. Night has another daughter. Her name is something I will be looking up right now. But she, oh God, hold on. Too bad we
Good
can't
thing we can't
ever
edit
cut
this
anything
out.
out. It's too bad we can't cut anything out. Oh no, he has 3 daughters. Oh my God.
When was
I
he going to
don't
do a project with the third one?
Okay, wait. Okay, there we go. He has another daughter. There's 2 other daughters. I'm sorry. We'll get there's 3 daughters. Saleka, Shivani, and Ishana. Fucking slay ass names, by the way. Imagine your last name being Night Shyamalan. Oh my God, be so good. Ishana wrote and maybe I think also directed. Yes, she wrote and directed The Watchers, which was the Dakota Fanning, like fae kind of folk horror movie that came out also in 2024. It came out a few months prior to Trap, or maybe a little bit more than that. I saw it. I really actually enjoyed it quite a bit. And also, there is an ad for The Watchers in this movie as they are driving through the city. And I also did not look this up. I clocked this immediately and I turned to Chelsea in the theater and I was like, there was just a movie poster for The Watchers. I don't know if you remember that, but I clocked it. I actually did in real time and I was very proud of myself. But like as they're driving to the arena in the beginning, there's like a long horizontal like mini ad and it says The Watchers. So he's given props to 2 out of 3 daughters. Little love for Shivani over here. I don't know.
Yeah.
Can we get a little heat in the chat for Shivani over here? I don't know.
She's the youngest, I guess. It's this. I don't looking at this article's from 2024, but at the time she was only 19, so she's only probably like 21 now, 2021. So,
well, she's also adorable and she's still cooking and you know, she's gonna when she is ready to launch her music acting, writing, directing career. This is the only nepotism I support is this specific family. Keep going. Keep going. Keep cooking. Keep working. I love it. I support it. Anyway, that brings us to Dumb Bitch. And it's not M. Night. You can't tell me that. It's not
I
him.
think it's beautiful when a father like M. Night Shyamalan or Adam Sandler is committed to working with their family no matter the artistic cost. I think that's inspiring and heartwarming.
What do you mean artistic cost? There's no artistic cost. This movie would be nothing without Saleka.
It really would, though.
It wouldn't be anything. It would be terrible. No one would have watched it. Even though no one knew who she was before this happened, they certainly would have sensed that there was a gaping hole where the beating heart of this film should be, you know? You're getting it. You're getting it. Who's the
I do think
dumb
she's an
bitch?
iconic part of the movie.
She's so iconic. She's so pure. She's like wearing her like beautiful white gowns. She's just like goodness personified throughout
she
the whole
only
thing.
wears white. An actress or a pop star named Lady Raven, only in white.
It's ironic, okay? She's just oh my god, it's like the Edgar Allan Poe references. We should have gotten literary with this shit. What does it mean? Honestly, I'm not familiar enough, so I can't say. Who's the dumb bitch?
It's M. Night, unfortunately.
No.
No.
Well, it is
I
his
mean,
character. It is his
Yeah,
character.
like
Yeah,
it's
it is
not
his character.
him.
It's
but
not
it's
him for creating the
who
film,
he's
which is what I was
playing.
saying.
Oh,
It's
Lady
the
Raven's uncle, her mother's
Yeah,
brother.
no, the
like,
uncle.
actually don't do her mother's brother. That's so funny. Sorry, that was
Just
so
to be
funny.
clear, there are lots of ways to be uncles to someone, but the way that I specifically
I
am
just
the uncle
wanna-
to Lady Raven is her mother's brother.
And I honestly hate it when people get that wrong, so I just want to say it right away. It's the first second we've met.
I know she's singing her Deadbeat Dad song right now, so I just need to be really clear. I'm not related to that guy.
I'm not related to that motherfucker. Thank God, am I right, brother? Yeah, I think it's
Yeah.
him.
I mean, I think he deserves a nomination. I do think Cooper Trapp deserves a nomination to some degree as well. We see him squirm his way out of a lot of situations, but then ultimately he gets done in by his wife being like, have some pie. You know what I mean? He
That
puts
was
it
so
together
stupid.
too
Well, let's just
late,
have a little
but
pie. Let's just
he's
have
like,
a
you
little
know,
pie. We're
this won't
supposed to be
extend your time
celebrating.
for long. I'll eat this in 5 bites. And she's like, I
Well, he
know.
does care about her. See?
But he feels such pure rage at her, and it's amazing the reason why.
He's that shit was so crazy. I just so you know, I'm having a sort of a revelation over here about killing you. I'm feeling feelings I've never felt before.
I've
So
never felt
weird.
rage. I've only felt peace killing, but I feel rage right now. And it turns out it's because I love my kids for real. Did you know that?
Can you believe that I love our shared children that we have together for real? Poor Allison Pill, man. God damn. Yeah, I get it. He gets a nomination, but he was born bad, so it's not his fault.
I think you can nominate the cops in general too, because he is. I mean, again, we see he's smart in many ways, but also they're being dumb in a lot of ways. Like,
I agree.
he's very identifiable based on the description, a man of roughly his height and build and race, and with the tattoo that he has. And he's like, and I'll put on a wristband, and then nobody will ever know. And they catch him out on the roof, and he's like, someone got burned in there, and they're just like, that must be scary, sir, back inside. And then at
They
the end, he
check
goes
to make sure.
Yeah, what's the code word? And he's like,
Well,
obviously
he did pass on the
Hamilton.
Hamilton.
But they are, I mean, I think there are ways to be like, hey, keep an eye on this person just in case. We're letting him go back inside, but somebody keep an eye on him afterwards.
I feel like this was shot in Canada, and so like everybody's like really trustworthy, trusting of each other. You know what I mean? I think it
But
was
they
shot
let
in
him
Canada.
the moment with the spokes at the end on the bike, like that is another thing. They just like let him be free to adjust his daughter's bike because he's just had revelation that he really does love his child. So we're gonna let his child come over and hug him, and then we're gonna let him pick the bike up, and oh, he just happened to steal a spoke on there so that he can pick his handcuffs. You know what I mean? It's just one of those things where
No, it makes sense. what
maybe
you're talking
he
about.
really is the best to ever do it. But I
He
think
is.
also it's because
He is the best to ever do it.
they're letting him get away with a lot.
That's the goat,
No.
okay?
He's the best to ever do it. He's the best to literally ever do it. Unfortunately, I don't know what to tell you. You're wrong for the first time you've ever been wrong, Chelsea. Right now, I hate to be the one to tell you, but okay, a lot of dumb bitches here, including how I feel right now about myself, just because we've talked about trap for almost an hour and 40 minutes. But anyway, it's time for our knives out of 5. I know this like really swept the Oscars in 2024 or 2025, I guess is when the Oscars were, but tell us about the awards, the accolades.
It did actually do the awards circuit, but I kind of looked at them and I didn't really feel like any of them were particularly worthy of mention. So I don't have any of them in my notes. But the numbers were interesting to me, especially after Phantom last episode, because as you may recall, Phantom had like 38% rotten from critics, something crazy like that. This movie has 56% rotten from critics. So critics thought that Trap was much better than Phantom of the Opera.
No. That's so upsetting.
And I think if you got a bunch of critics together in a room and you had them vote on which one was the better movie, they would all say Trap. But it, like I said, it got 56% rotten from critics and then 64% from audiences, which is fresh. But as you can see, those numbers relatively close together. And then on IMDb, it got a 5.8 out of 10. So no ringing endorsements, but I do think that this movie had a decently sized cultural impact.
I agree.
I think part of that is because Smile 2 came out the same year, and so it kind of elevated, as we're dedicating our month to it, kind of elevated pop star horror into a genre of its own.
Yeah.
And so I think those two
nothing
films
to a full-fledged genre.
Right.
In
I
2
think
months.
those two things working together did trap a lot of favors, but I also just think Trap being as like silly, goofy as it is, it found a place in people's hearts. But again, does that make it a good movie? No. So I'm going to give it a 3.
That's fair. That's fair. Yeah. I'm going to give it a 3 too because like I can't give it a 5 even though I said that I would earlier. I was called a joke. A little fib I was saying
was
to be funny.
okay?
I was just being I was in a silly goofy mood as we've been in all episode long. It's just like it was so God, the highest high of my life that first viewing. I was in stitches. I was in stitches. It was so funny. And then we almost died. And then I felt connected to all of my fellow AMC A-listers. And it just, I'll never experience that high again. And so when I watch this movie again, it reminds me of the things that I can never attain. And so it makes me kind of sad. And so 3 out of 5.
I like this movie less than y'all, and I was gonna give it a 3, and now I'm like, well, I can't give it
You can give it a 3.
A 3
I
in your
refuse.
heart and a 3 in a different way for
I'm gonna
us.
give it a 2.5 out of 5.
I was being objective because it has to not like it is actually a bad movie.
What I
but
like about it is
did
that it's 3
love
knives out of
it.
5.
Yeah, I like that it's bad.
It's outrageous, and that's its charm.
Yeah, because it is something that is unfathomable to believe that it exists. It's rather lovely.
They go, okay, Riley, let's have fun going back to the concert. Cut to his face close up, all red, just here to here. Like, it is objectively a lot of insane artistic choices here. And that's what I like, and also why it deserves a 3.
And that's why it deserves a 3. It's true. Okay. So next week, I think I'm announcing this one, right? Because I don't think you've seen it, Sydney. Yeah. Okay.
I have
cool.
not seen this.
So we first thought about doing Pop Star Horror Month in 2024, right?
I think so, yeah.
I think we did.
And we were like, Pop Star Horror 2 weeks? Like,
yeah.
Is there enough for a month at that time?
And then in spring of 2025, was it spring? I don't know. I might have just made that up. Another movie came out. Then we were like, finally, something else that could work. And that movie is 2025's Opus. Have you heard of it? I feel like it flew a little bit under the radar. It's an A24 movie.
I thought it was Repo, the what is it?
The genetic opera. She really thought we were doing that.
I was kind of excited.
I really want to do that movie because I've never seen it and I heard it's fucking crazy. Also, Paris Hilton's in it, and you know I love to see Paris. But yeah, it's not, that one is a horror opera, but it is not a pop star horror movie, unfortunately. But they do sing the whole time, so I have been led to believe. Anyway, they don't sing the whole time in Opus. But it's coming at this genre in a very different way. This genre that has 4 movies in it. But like it's more of a slow burn and more of like a psychological sort of take on this. But it's got Io, say her last name for me.
Io Debris.
Io Debris. I always say it wrong. I'm so sorry. Io Debris. I love her. And John Malkovich, Juliette Lewis. It's got some like heavy hitters in this movie, and it's really an interesting one. It's super interesting. So I'm excited for us to dive into it, and also I'm excited to have more than one movie done in this month, so we can start doing a compare and contrast of all the original songs. Because that's the whole reason why I want to do this Pop Star Horror Month. I want us to get in the nitty gritty. Who will
And if
win?
you want a banger,
Lady
that movie's
Raven.
got a banger.
Yeah,
I remember
it
being
does
in
have
the
a
theater being
banger.
like, this is a banger.
Yeah, fuck.
Jamming
And
it,
we've
trying to
never
get it to
listened to it since. Oh, I'm
I've listened to
excited.
it since.
So anyway, get into it. Opus. It's gonna be so fun. And yeah, thank you so much for joining us for Pop Star Horror Month. I'm so excited that we're finally here. It feels so good to be alive. And why don't you say in a 5-star review for us on Apple Podcasts? Wow, this is an incredible theme and it feels really good to me and I really like it and it was worth the wait of 2 years to get here. Thank you so much. I can say that again. Do you need to repeat it? But that'd be a really great 5-star review for us. And also 5-star rating on Spotify will work as well. We're also on social media. You can follow us at spooky_Tuesday on pretty much everything except for Facebook and Tumblr where we're at Spooky Tuesday Pod. And then we also have a website, girl. It's crazy. It's spookytuesdaypod.com. One-stop shop for everything you need to know about the podcast, including our Patreon, patreon.com/spooky_Tuesday, where you can become a beautiful patron and hang out with us, talk about movie trailers, talk shit, do movie nights weekly. It's really, really fun and we have a great time. So you should come join us. And we are also on YouTube. And today, my friends, one, we're all looking rather butch. I almost said bush. And two,
We're also, I'm assuming,
we're also
rocking
serving
that.
huge bush right now. But two, we are also joined today by a very special guest, and that special guest is Mr. Trapp himself. Mr. Trapp, please, would you like to say something
The
to the
floor is
audience?
yours.
Hi, it's me. I'm Mr. Trapp. I'm at the concert and I'm the butcher.
Oh my God.
Cooper is the butcher. That's me. That's me, girl.
Loved that. That was really good.
Okay, Josh Hartnett, calm down.
Whoa, it's like he's here.
He just like jumped out of the screen. That was crazy. But yeah, you should follow us on YouTube and you can see us do really dumb shit all the time. Anyway, love you so much. Thank you for listening, and we will see you next Tuesday.
Bye, Spookies.
Spooky Tuesday was created by Monica Haidt, Sydney Thompson, and Chelsea Duff, and edited by Sydney Thompson. Our gorgeously spooky tunes are all thanks to Tamara Simons, who you can follow on Instagram at Great18. That's GR818_, and our podcast art is by Ryan Brom, who you can follow on Instagram at Ryan Brom Art. That's RyanBrommArt. Learn more about Spooky Tuesday at spookytuesdaypod.com and subscribe to our Patreon at patreon.com/spooky_Tuesday.